Attention vessel, you have entered restricted space. Please respond.
뭐라? 출입 금지 구역이야?
This world is off limits. You are advised to jump to safe harbor immediately.
출입 금지? 왜?
Tolomon 2 is a biological exclusion zone.
아,
Nothing down
맞아.
there but terramorphs and UC soldiers keeping an eye on them. Best course of action is to leave while you're still able.
여기 있을 수 있는 허가가 있다. 하톰 사령관을 만날 계획이 있다.
Let me check my logs. All right, you can proceed. We'll let them know you're on your way down.
좋아, 착륙을 합시다. 전진기지 441.
You! Inside the barriers! Double time! You with the Xeno unit? You're heading to command. Far end of the compound.
시설의 끝자락.
I pride myself on knowing everyone on this world, and I don't know you. You're with the collection team then, I presume. Either that or you're one deeply unlucky trespasser.
커피를 마시러 왔을 뿐이다. 블랙의 설탕은 2개로 주세요.
Deflection. Lovely. Nervous then? I certainly wouldn't blame you. Well, perhaps I'll just get my answer from them instead.
Commander Hatum,
No need for introductions, Major Simon. Dr. Walker, your reputations precede you. Can I also presume he's with you?
Oh, the captain? Yes, ma'am. Couldn't do this without him.
Then let's not waste any more time. Now, Londinium is one of the most dangerous places in the Milky Way. It's with good reason my soldiers and I do everything we can to avoid entering the city. Terramorphs are omnipresent, and the structural damage left behind when Major Sinon's father bombed its spaceport has turned large swathes of the metropolis into a decaying labyrinth. As such, we'll be providing you all with gear, information, and uploading municipal unlock codes to your robot. Every tool you could need to succeed out there. Except one. Once you're on the other side of those barriers, you will be on your own. If you get into trouble, my people will not be coming. Do we understand each other?
밖에는 무엇이 기다리고 있을까?
Terramorphs, and plenty of them. Outside our little sanctuary here, much of the planet is theirs. For that reason, we keep our trips into the city to a minimum. That also means our intel becomes largely historical once you go much beyond the defenses. It's also why I want to make sure I'm being crystal clear. Out there, you're on your own.
그래, 그럼 중무기를 건네줘.
We'll do our best. I'll leave you to your preparations then. You can find your equipment in our armory, base of the tower just outside.
밖에 있는 탑 아래.
And I do believe there's someone
무기고.
waiting for you there, Captain. Now, once you're outside the base, it's my personal suggestion you make a beeline to the nearby Aceles plant. It contains one of our field caches. Though I can't guarantee it won't contain anything else. I hope you all find what you're looking for out there. Robot, you're coming with me.
Yes, ma'am.
야, 나도 카이조랑 같이 다니고 싶어.
Percival, you all set to hook into their comms tower?
Should only take a few minutes. Let's get this done and get the hell out of here.
Percival will be scanning the city for our samples from here. When he finds one, he'll transmit the coordinates to us out in the field.
언제든 갈 수 있다.
All right. Head over to the armory and gear up. Once you're done, we'll meet by the entrance to the city.
좋아, 일단 장비를 회수합시다.
Word of advice while you're out there.
Don't trust what the voices tell you.
You match our description. The Vanguard captain? The cabinet wanted you to have something. Make sure you had the best tools for the task at hand. Now, if you'll excuse me.
와우. 이것도 다 가져가도 되는 거야? 오, 전설. 탄약을 다 챙기고요. 야, 외계 생명체에게 주는 피해가 30% 증가한다. 이거 좋은데? 직립 상태에서 받는 피해가 50% 감소. 대박이야. 색은 좀 마음에 안 들지만 최대 소진 무게 플러스 20. 대박이야. 외계 생명체 적에게 받는 피해 15% 감소. 스캔한 대상에게 주는 피해 10% 증가.
All set on your gear? You ready to do this?
잠깐만요. 긴장하고 있나?
Yeah, just pre-mission jitters. You hear about a place for so long, it maybe gets bigger in your head than it should be. But you don't need to worry about me. I'll be all right. Now, are we doing this or not?
은하계 최고의 팀이 함께한다. 만반의 준비가 되어 있다.
That's damn right we are. Come on, let's get out there. Kaiser, Percival, everything green on your ends?
I am ready.
Personal comm should be routed through Kaiser now. You copy that?
Roger, loud and clear.
Perhaps too loud.
Oh, you're a riot robot.
Kaiser, kick it off.
Unlock code transmitted. You may open the gate when ready.
All right. On our way into the city. Percival, where are we heading?
Running the first sweep. Got one. I see these. Not far. Old
좋아,
shipping
갑시다.
yard just past the processing plant. Gene samples are probably in one of their containers.
Search.
야, 시원시원하게 갈리네.
Your shipping yard's just beyond the processing plant. Cache with some goodies is towards the rear of the facility.
Kaiser, we close enough for you to dial in the location of those samples from here?
오, 탄약 봐.
They're faint, but I'm detecting multiple valid signatures. I have restored power to the containers.
Jackpot. Get down there and collect as many as you can.
전문가네? 얘들아 잠깐만 기다려줘. 금방 풀 테니까. 장벽 바깥으로 갑시다. 일단 보기에는 적은 안 보이는데 유전자 샘플 다음 위에 뭐야? 와, 데미지 안 들어가는 것 봐. 그렇지, 카이저. 탱커 역할 확실하게 하고 있죠. 야, 와 올라오는 것 봐.
Nothing's gonna save you. Nothing's gonna save you.
그렇지, 하나 끝났고.
Insufficient.
좋아, 다들 무사하죠. 역류 마이크로 HP가 낮을수록 데미지가 증가한다? 중화기? 이건 뭐야? 중화기라. 최강의 갑옷도 뚫는다. 이것도 한번 장착해 놓을까? 중화기도 일단 장착해 놓자. 5번으로. 쓸모가 있을지도 몰라. 동상. 동상이 신체 이상 이건가? 반대편?
All Asilis samples collected.
All right. Now hand those over to Kaiser, and let's get out of here.
Samples secure.
Nice work. No. Earlier scan picked up a valid terramorph sample, but, well, it's in the spaceport. And the quick route there looks like it got blasted when the port did.
There are steam tunnels under the city, which will allow us to access the spaceport.
What do you... That's right. Kaiser, how did you know that?
I am not sure.
Percival, you see any better option?
Not from where I'm standing.
Then we've got our answer.
Access unlocked. We may proceed.
증기 터널로 향하다.
Kaiser, this flora, this is Lazarus plant, isn't it?
Confirmed.
You know, no one even realized it was a living thing until someone got it under a microscope and saw it had cells. Can't be cultivated anywhere but Londinian. Marvel. All these leeches. What's keeping you things warm?
뭐라? 일단 갖다 파는 게 낫겠지?
What's that? My God, look at it.
만개한 라자루스.
A Lazarus in bloom. You know, we might be some of the only. What's
라자루스 식물과 하이드리안 관찰하기.
Captain? Seen this?
마법소사. 아, 저기서 탄생하는구나.
Oh my God, the heat leeches are terramorphs. You just saw that, right? You would tell me if I was losing my mind. That heat leech became a terramorph. The pests that have snuck onto every planet are baby terramorphs. Heat leeches hide out in ships, sneak away after landing, and then, with time, they transform. We just found out how terramorphs move between planets.
이것은 꽤 큰 발견인 것 같다.
Pretty major is right. But if what we just saw, if that's possible, the Lazarus plant, it's clearly an accelerant for the terramorph, a heat leech transformation process. Make one into the other in an instant. But that means if anyone knew about this, they could trigger a terramorph spawning. You could sneak a leech into a city, or even multiple leeches, into a place like New Atlantis. Good God. The attack on New Atlantis, could someone have set that up?
아까의 일을 생각하면 확실히 그럴지도 모르겠다.
But first, you'd have to know the truth about all this.
Well, we're never gonna know if you don't catch that thing. Get after it.
We may proceed.
Go!
텔레모프 처치하기.
Deploying lethal countermeasures.
All right, let's get to the bottom of this. Percival, Kaiser's got the cell data from the New Atlantis and Tau Ceti attacks, right?
Uploaded them myself.
Captain, let Kaiser take a look at that sample.
Beginning analysis. It is a match. This suggests with high certainty that the Lazarus plant was used to trigger the attacks on both planets.
There's no way a plant this rare, this fragile, just shows up here, New Atlantis, and Tau Ceti. The transformations on those worlds, they must have been triggered by human hands. Captain, do you understand what it is we just stumbled on here?
누군가가 유씨를 공격하고도 도망갈 수 있다고 생각했다.
Exactly. Someone saw the Lazarus plant and realized the ends it could be put to. Makes some sense, actually. Tau Ceti was likely their first test. Someplace remote where no one would question a few settlers going missing. Ensure the big show, the attack on New Atlantis, would be a success. And the timing of that one, it couldn't have been just luck that it happened right when we were asking the cabinet to do something about the terramorphs. These attacks. I think someone planned them to set all this in motion.
누가 했을까? 하지만 이 식물은 이곳이 아니면 자랄 수 없지 않을까?
It can't. At least, I didn't think it could. But maybe if we're right about this, someone found a way.
텔러모프가 나타난 타이밍이 수상하다고 생각했다.
They certainly were. But having this answer, well, it raises a couple big questions. Who could pull something like this off? And why?
전혀 모르겠다. 이클리티, 발룬, 하툼, 자유성 동맹, 식민지 연합. 이건 모르잖아. 증거가 없는데? 하툼 사령관이 알고 있었을까? 알고 있었을까? 생각은 있지만 증거 없이 비난을 퍼붓는 것은 무책임한 일이다.
That's a good point. An accusation this consequential needs evidence to back it up,
좀 더 증거를 모아야겠죠.
not just conjecture.
Let's save the discussion for when you all aren't standing in the universe's closest equivalent to hell frozen over. If we're gonna do anything to prevent more terramorph attacks, human cause or otherwise, we need that final sample.
Roger that. Kaiser, get us into the spaceport.
The entrance is this way.
카이저를 따라가다.
Sufficient power to the lock mechanism.
Anyone got ideas where we could get some extra juice?
배터리 찾아야 돼?
Local power looks like it was controlled in the security office, upper floor.
Captain and I can scout it out. Kaiser, see if you can't find another way to get it open.
Roger that. I have restored power to the office entrance. You may proceed.
우주와 액세스 해체 전원을 복구하다.
Control panel. Still looks operable. Of all the things to survive.
Reactivated. Error. Control system reboot required.
And we do that. Ah, Captain. I think I see it.
Reboot engaged. Running diagnostic. Diagnostic complete.
이 금고가 있네?
Systems unavailable. Warning.
열어봐야겠죠?
Safety concerned.
Back in business.
Warning. Emergency recorder message detected. Transcription process engaged.
긴급 녹음기의 메시지?
Playback initiated.
Admiral Senna, we need to make the evacuation request.
That's my father he's addressing. He was here? Didn't think he'd have the guts to look those soldiers in the eye before blowing this place to pieces.
나 또 동상 걸렸어.
Admiral! It just transformed. An invisible weapon. No planet would be safe. Colonel, the troops that closed off the sewers after my evaluation, they're all in this facility. Other than our casualties? Yes, sir. Good. Get them into defensive positions around the spaceport. No one leaves. They'll send ships as soon as possible. Thank God. None of us wanted to go down swarmed by those things.
about the Lazarus plant. Grab that recording. We should talk.
기록 회수하기.
Hey, Victus. He destroyed this place. Killed these people to keep what he knew about the Lazarus plant and the Terramorphs and all this a secret. Didn't he?
그렇게 해석했다.
He saw the potential of the plant as a weapon and hid it away. He killed those people. Condemned this city to keep them from sharing what they might have seen. He was
무자비 비밀을 지키면 생명을 지킬 수 있다고 생각했다.
a calculated loss. These soldiers for the rest of the galaxy. That sounds exactly like what my father would do. But it doesn't. It can't justify slaughter. But I guess that's just another part of his sick legacy now. He thought he was protecting us all, taking the secret to his grave. Only he didn't succeed. Now someone else knows about the Lazarus plant and is using it exactly how he feared.
자, 가자. 해야 할 일이 있다.
Right. Settled systems are counting on us.
카이즈한테 갑시다.
Kaiser, try it now.
Guys, your sample, it moved. I'd be real careful out there if I were you.
That doesn't sound good. Eyes peeled.
샘플이 움직였다는데? 뭐야? 동상이 아카뎀? 동상이면... 뭐야? 맙소사!
Concentrate fire! That sound!
You're not getting away.
That thing is putting out some kind of signal. Radar's lighting up. I think you're due for some company.
우와, 몰려드는 것 봐. 맙소사.
The signal that thing's putting out controlling those creatures, I think I can nullify it. But I'm gonna need some help. There should be some radar equipment powered up now around it. You get those online, and I'll relay my signal through there.
There's another one. You're everywhere.
아니 왜 제대로 쏘는데 왜 안 빗나가?
You can't beat it. It's too strong. Give up now.
They're everywhere. All around. Nowhere is safe.
야, 데미지 들어가는 거 실화야? 안 깎이는데?
No. No. No.
카이저 잘한다.
You've lost.
이 마크는 뭐지?
Which one is going to
Connection received. Broadcasting signal.
좋아요. 나머지 갑니다.
But the thralls, they're attacking the anomaly.
야,
Percival,
왜 못 올라가?
are you doing this?
There's one right there! Kill it!
That's not me. I'm just nulling out the frequency. Null signal online.
We freed them, and they're helping us.
I've still got more capacity. Get to the next fish.
It's working.
You're not gonna leave me, are you?
One more dish, and I should be able to shut it down completely.
뭐야, 끝났어?
They're not coming after us. I guess we should grab that sample while we can.
세뇌가 끝났나?
Good. Now just stash that sample with Kaiser, and we're done.
Final sample secure.
All wrapped up. Time to get the hell out of here.
얘 뭐야? 테러모프 아니야?
Percival, you should unplug. We can talk. Private.
On it. See you soon.
좋아. 기지로 돌아갑시다.
Look at all of you. Back from the underworld. Got pretty frantic on the comms towards the end there.
얘 헬멧 멋있다.
Got everything we need to put this plan in motion.
아니 왜 추운 데서 얘기를 해? 몇 개의 손가락을 잃을 뻔했지만 모두 모였다.
Hey, was worried about that myself. Though I know I wasn't nearly as much at risk of limb loss as you all were. Now, my connection might have gotten a bit fuzzy there, but do I have it right that Vay Victus knew about this damn plant?
That's what it sounded like.
Guess the old Admiral must have told someone what he learned. Even he's not clever enough to pull off an attack like that from the great beyond.
용의자가 많은 것은 확실하다.
That's putting it lightly.
But it's clear someone knows about the plant and realized what ends it could be put towards. Captain, we need to get these samples back to the lab and verify we'll be able to handle cleaning up the leeches as well as the terramorphs. But in the interim, do you think you could look into what we uncovered? See if you can turn up any information on who might have committed the attacks?
If it were me, I'd start at the scene of the crime, New Atlantis.
알았다. 알아보자.
Thank you, Captain. Once you finish your investigation, we'll meet you outside the cabinet chambers. They're gonna want to hear this. Take care of yourself. No telling who might be involved.
좋아요. 뉴 아틀란티스로 갑시다.
Well, what a pleasant surprise. When I heard you and Hadrian were headed for Londinian of all places, I presumed you must be onto something big. Did you find what you were looking for?
아, 꽤 괜찮은 걸 찾았다.
Good news then. So, what exactly are you doing here? Plenty still to be done in defeating the Terramorphs, no?
녹취록을 찾았다. 당신이 텔러모프를 무기로 사용하는 이야기를 하는 녹취록이 발견되었어.
Did you? Well, I don't know what you think you heard on this recording, but I sincerely hope you didn't come to the wrong conclusions. After all, given the Cabinet's current state of anxiety, they might misinterpret such a discovery to mean I could have been involved with the attacks. Perhaps I can convince you to keep this among us.
그게 과연 오해일까? 공격에 대해 전혀 모른다는 말인가?
Of course. Do I look like I'm in any position to much appreciate your agreement to not share what you found. We wouldn't want anyone else jumping to conclusions now, would we?
누구에게도 말할 생각은 없다. 단지 사실인지 확인하고 싶을 뿐이야.
You want to hear the words then? I did it. The Terramorph attacks on Tau Ceti, New Atlantis. My doing.
와,
Years of coordination between my associate and I, figuring out how to deploy the Lazarus plant's pollen outside of Londinian, learning to synthesize it, use it as a weapon. Now, being as clever as you are, I'm sure you have thoughts on why I
그냥
might do
보복인가?
such a thing.
동료? 누구와 손을 잡았나?
All in due time. First, I want to see if you're truly as astute as you appear. So why would someone like me go through all this trouble?
개인적인 감정이 있을까? 쟤 웃는 거 봐. 개인적인 감정이 있을까? UC의 라자루스 공장의 위험성을 알리는 데는 이 방법이 가장 좋은 방법이다.
Not a bad thought. But no. The attacks were a correction. When I discovered the plant, I did consider handing over what I'd found, but we were at war. And I couldn't risk information that dangerous falling into the wrong hands. So I ordered the bombing of the Londinian spaceport, fixing two problems at once. Halting the spread of the city's Terramorph outbreak, and sealing away knowledge of the plant's potential.
UC 사람들도 믿지 않았나? 아니야. 그 정보를 전달했어야 했다. 사용되지 않도록 보호하고 있었다.
It's easy to judge now, but the Freestar Collective had spies everywhere. In that moment, I wasn't about to add another dangerous variable to an already catastrophic war. But then, as the war ended, my trial, my execution, I made a decision. After all, I'd given everything for the colonies. My life as I knew it included. And what did I get in return? Was there any effort by the UC to protect my legacy? My daughter's legacy? No. We were sacrificed when all we did was serve. So I kept what I'd learned and arranged the attacks to set things right again. My daughter, she becomes a hero. I become a trusted advisor, having found Kaiser, the research team, and cement my new position of influence when I hand them the name of the person responsible for the attack on New Atlantis. The dear departed Dr. Reginald Orlays, the associate who aided me all these years, and whom I always slated to take the fall. What luck he was stopped dead before he could hurt anyone else. His decades on the run brought to an end by another unlikely hero. You.
어떻게 이 모든 것을 조정할 수 있었을까?
It wasn't easy. But the beauty of being loathed is that people will do whatever they can not to deal with you. They wanted to pretend I didn't exist. And so I used their blind eye to my advantage. Still, establishing a back channel to Orlays via the UC recovery teams was painstaking work. I've led campaigns less nerve-wracking. They believed they were luring in wanted criminals, but were in fact delivering precisely encoded slates, filled with instructions invisible to any but their recipient, dropped off at just the right moments to fall into the proper hands, all without the UC realizing whom you were actually dealing with. Slow work. But as you can see, ultimately effective.
아우라스? 어딘가 낯익은 느낌이 든다.
Can't remember the many lives you've taken. Orlays was the man whose death you brought about around the moon of Etheria. The pilot of the Warlock. The man I had to eliminate. To hide my secret.
조금 명예를 훼손당했다고 해서 UC 시민을 죽였다고? 미쳤어.
There are no heroes without a villain. I simply arranged the opportunity for us to overcome one and become the other. And we all benefited. It's why I had Orlays reprogram Kaiser. Had that old machine guide you to where I found the plant all those years ago. I went to great lengths to ensure your and Hadrian's success. And look at the results. I know for a fact the Cabinet's planning to honor both you and Hadrian once this is all done. Isn't that preferable to languishing away in obscurity? Running jobs on the tail end of nowhere for the Vanguard? With only the vague hopes of perhaps earning the right to buy a home in the well someday.
이것도 뭔가 이익이 있을 것 같다.
Precisely. And let's not forget the importance of our actual endgame. Eliminating the Terramorphs. Securing knowledge of the Lazarus plant. What we've set in motion is going to protect thousands, maybe millions of lives. I'm simply requesting one more life be protected. Mine. I've already sent along the evidence of Orlays' role in the attacks to the Cabinet, leaving out my own involvement. All I ask is that you confirm as much to the Cabinet. Tell them that it was Orlays and Orlays alone. After all, I do still have a long list of threats to the UC. This needn't be the end of our good works together.
이게 진실이구나. 내각에 무슨 말을 해야 할지 아주 고민 중입니다.
Well, I do hope you'll keep the larger perspective in mind, Captain. We've done something great here. Let's not squander the opportunity to do more.
하이드리안과 퍼시벌과 대화하기. 아니, 하이드리안 아버지가 살아있다는 것조차 모르는데.
Perfect timing. We just got in. So on our end, good news. The microbe and the acyles are both as effective against heat leeches as they are against terramorphs.
Means either plan should work for clearing those critters off our worlds.
Considering what the Lazarus plant is capable of, I don't think we can deal with those things fast enough. I already sent along info to the Cabinet to get them up to speed. So what about your end? Did you find anything? Any leads on who might have committed the attacks?
와, 이거 아버지 얘기하면 어떡하냐. 얘 완전 충격받을 텐데. 하지만 진실이잖아. 일단 진실을 얘기해보자. 아니야, 일단 거짓을 얘기해보자. 레지널드 오라스 박사의 소행이었다. 그놈이 공격을 실행했다.
Orlays? Reginald Orlays? He did this? I didn't think he was still alive. You're sure it was him?
아우라스와 아는 사이였나?
Oh yeah. Both worked for UC Defense Research way back when. Different departments, but everyone knew Orlays. Had a mean eye for weapons tech. And a meaner temper. Wasn't exactly a surprise when he fled instead of standing trial after the colony war. But finding out he's taken up mass murder in the years since, that is a shock. You're sure about this?
틀림없다. 곧 내각에 증거가 도착할 것이다.
That's some impressive work. So then give us the rundown. Where's Orlays now? Were you able to bring him in?
데려오는 임무였는데 죽여버렸다. 그땐 아우라스가 무슨 짓을 했는지 몰랐다.
Huh, I see. Wish we could have questioned him. But, well, there's nothing we can do at this point. Any idea why he might have done it? Or what he was doing with the plant?
모르겠다. 진술서는 찾을 수 없었다.
I can't imagine the amount of work it took to deploy the Lazarus plant off-world. Strange to go to all that trouble and
야, 너무
not state
캐지 마.
reasons.
너 때문에 거짓말하는 거야 지금.
Well, the man knew how to hold a grudge. I wouldn't be shocked if this was him getting back at the UC for trying to put him on trial.
I guess. Well, at least he won't be able to hurt anybody else now. Might be the best we could ask for, given the circumstances. So I guess there's nothing else to do but get this all in front of the Cabinet. Unless there were other things we needed to discuss. This might be our last opportunity to talk things through before the Cabinet weighs in on a decision regarding the Terramorphs.
이쪽은 아무것도 없다. 빨리 가자.
And here we go.
내각과 대화하기.
Welcome back, all of you. I wish we were meeting under better circumstances. But according to Hadrian's report and the second one I just received, it seems the Terramorph attack on New Atlantis was no random occurrence, but a planned strike. Is what I'm reading here true?
맞다. 공격은 계획적인 것이었다.
My God.
An attack? Using terramorphs? How is that possible?
You will all receive a full briefing once we're done here. So then, is what the second report claims correct? Did Reginald Orles commit these attacks, Captain?
아, 아우라스의 소행이야.
That appears to be the case, ma'am. The captain tracked that information down just after our trip to Londinian.
Reginald Orles? Wasn't there a report he'd been killed recently?
Body was found floating around Etheria. Report mentioned you were sent to try and bring him in, Captain. I guess that didn't go according to plan.
Ah, yes. I was told about your mission and who ordered it. Did you two suspect at the time Orles might have been involved in the attacks?
우연히도 나도 놀랐다.
Well, it appears you were ahead of the curve. This report contains definitive evidence Orles triggered the attacks via this Lazarus plant the captain and Major Sinan uncovered.
Simply harrowing.
Indeed. Though it would have been preferable for him to have finally faced the UC's justice, it seems both of you are to be commended for ensuring he was dealt with before he could strike again. You have our thanks. Now,
아, 이거
with
너무
our
마음이
villain masked,
마음이 편치 않은데
we can
거짓말을
attend
하니까.
to the other matters at hand. With the threads you've brought together here, the Lazarus plant, the attacks, the heat leeches, the three of you have likely spared thousands of lives. But it now falls to the cabinet to ensure this can never happen again. As such, the cabinet will be securing the Lazarus plant on Londinian. All materials related to the plant will be classified to ensure no one else learns its true nature.
A sound decision, Madam President.
유 씨는 어떤 수단으로 라자루스 공장을 보호할 것인가?
Well, luckily the natural hostility of Londinian makes keeping out trespassers relatively easy. But we'll ensure its growth is contained, that access to the plant is only permitted via highly regulated clearances, and that our troop presence on Londinian is increased.
동의한다. 옳은 판단이라고 생각한다.
I'm glad you think so. So then, to our final topic. The cabinet has agreed to implement a plan that will deal with the Terramorph, and now also Heat Leech presence on human worlds. In fact, we've already begun enacting measures to check all UC ports and settlements for undiscovered nests. But we all understand this is only a partial solution. The project we're embarking on will be a long and difficult one. So our first step must be deciding how exactly this all will be handled.
Madam President, this microbe is clearly too much of a risk. The Aseles are the safer approach.
To someone with limited knowledge of biology, perhaps. The technology behind the microbe is solved science, Madam President. It isn't dangerous. Using it to wipe out the Terramorphs would be the quickest path to protecting humanity.
And fast results always lead to the best outcomes, don't they?
As you can see, there remains debate among the cabinet. We were hoping your group might issue a recommendation. Major?
We've been having similar debates ourselves, but the captain has yet to weigh in.
I see. Captain, I know this may not be your area of expertise, but we'd like to know your take on the matter.
나는 미생물은 좀 반대야. 아슬레스를 전개하는 것이 가장 안전하다. 그쪽에 투표한다.
I'm in full agreement. No need be delving into unpredictable sciences.
And Major Sinan? Dr. Walker, you'd find this acceptable?
We trust the captain's judgment.
Then the matter is settled. We'll begin the process immediately. Today marks day one for the United Colonies Terramorph Management Division, making you three the founding members of the TMD.
아, 창립 멤버.
As befits such a group, the cabinet wanted to display its gratitude. Today, we will be adding 3 new Class 1 citizens to our ranks.
Class 1? For the 3 of us? Are you joking?
What he means to say is, thank you, ma'am.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, ma'am.
클래스 1이란?
It's a status reserved only for those who've dedicated their lives to the United Colonies, or done great things for its cause. Class 1s enjoy an ample credit disbursement, an additional reduction on the cost of
대박이네.
colonial goods. And I'm told the penthouse is
와,
rather impressive.
감사합니다, 대통령님.
You all have earned it. Now, there's much to be done. Major Sanan, Dr. Walker, I hope you two are willing to continue your efforts spearheading the TMD's research on Mars.
We'd be honored, ma'am.
As for you, Captain, the Vanguard will be providing much of the on-the-ground support for the TMD. As a member of both the Vanguard and the TMD, I believe you'll have your pick of duties. Speak to your commander, Tuala, if I recall correctly. He should be able to provide you with assignments going forward,
클래스 1의
plus
특전.
help you collect the benefits that come with being named Class 1. On behalf of the whole of the United Colonies, you have our sincerest gratitude. This meeting is adjourned.
아, 근데 마음이 전혀 편치가 않은데? 자, 베이 빅티스가 원하는 대로 했죠. 과연 그가 뭐라고 할지 대화를 하러 갑시다.
What's this? Just you then? No UC executioner. So the cabinet knows the truth about Orlays. Splendid. That means you and I can get to work.
그 일에 대해 알려주세요.
Well, thanks to our combined efforts, the Sanan name has more clout with the cabinet than it has in years. I hope to build on that. I have a long list of names civilized society would be better without. I just need someone to help me remove them from the picture. Should we begin the hunt? Or did you have questions?
구체적으로 무엇을 하는가?
Just making the settled systems a little safer. Arms dealers, rogue scientists, UC turncoats, war criminals from the colony war. Each poses a threat if left unchecked. I'd be directing you to them, and you'd be making the galaxy better for us all.
도와주면 문제가 되지 않을까? 유씨가 허락한 것은 아니지 않나?
The UC doesn't consider these threats worthy of action just yet. But by the time they do, it may well be too late. Which is why we'll be dealing with them before they can cause greater harm. As far as possible legal repercussions, I'll only be sending you to targets once they're away from the general populace. You may have to deal with some mercenaries or other general banditry, but no one's gonna shed a tear if a merchant of death or a chem peddler and their henchmen meet an early end. You won't be going after anyone that you see might miss. So you needn't fear in that regard.
빨리 시작하자.
Just what I was hoping to hear. There's a slate waiting for you in the transfer system.
타깃 정보 수집하기.
Those are the details for our first, person of interest. Find them, eliminate them, and make the galaxy a better place for it. Though I would expect some resistance when trying to approach the target. Deal with any you encounter as you see fit.
특징이 없는 슬레이트. 쓰레기 텍스트 페이지에는 좌표 집합, 설명 및 이니셜 쌍인 VV가 숨겨져 있습니다. 베이 빅티스의 소행이었다. 어떻게든 자백을 받아냈다.
That seems unlikely, considering he's been dust for about 20 years.
I'm sure the captain just misspoke. Right?
지하에 살아있어요. 아니라고 하면?
If you said my father was still alive and using terramorphs as weapons, I might think it's time for a psych eval. So we just misheard you, right?
미안해. 진작 얘기를 했었어야 되는데. 아니야. 베이는 살아있다. 계속 유씨에 붙잡혀 있었어. 세장 안에서 공격을 지휘했어.
No, that's impossible. He's gone. My father is dead.
늦게 말해서 미안하다. 하지만 사실입니다.
Good God, you're not kidding.
Alive. They Victus is alive? How did you find him?
저쪽에서 연락이 왔다. 카이저를 찾은 것도 그 덕분이다.
Wait. You knew he was alive and didn't tell us?
방금 말했으니까 고마워요는 뭐야. 말할 수 없었다. 비밀을 지킬 것을 맹세했다. 하지만 너무 중요해졌다.
You were sworn to... You swore. You were just doing your duty, weren't you? Yeah, I guess I, of all people, should know what a burden that can be. Doesn't mean I'm not mad. But I guess you letting us know late is preferable to never. Now at least we can inform the cabinet and let them deal with him.
공격에 관여하지 않았다고 발표해달라고 요청했다. 구한 생명을 고려하라는 것이다.
I'm sure he did. But he killed dozens of people. And I'm not about to let him get away with something like that.
맞는 말이야.
But now I guess we've got our answer. Nothing left to do but put it all in front of the cabinet. Any last things we needed to discuss? This might be our last opportunity to talk things through before the cabinet weighs in on a decision regarding the terramorphs.
만약 베이 빅티스가 공격에 연루되었다는 사실을 알게 된다면 내각은 어떻게 할 것 같습니까?
It's hard to know. Unlike my father, the cabinet aren't butchers. But killing UC citizens, along with everything else he's done, is unforgivable. But if you're really that concerned, you could request they be lenient. They might be willing to spare him.
빨리 가자.
And here we go.
좋아, 이제 내각에. 진실을 말하는 것도 굉장히.
Welcome back, all of you. I wish we were meeting under better circumstances. But according to Hadrian's report, and the second one I just received, it seems the terramorph attack on New Atlantis was no random occurrence, but a planned strike. Is what I'm reading here true?
맞다. 공격은 계획적인 것이었다.
My God.
An attack? Using terramorphs? How is that possible?
You will all receive a full briefing once we're done here. So then, is what the second report claims correct? Did Reginald Orlais commit these attacks, Captain?
Orlais?
일부는 사실이다. 아우라스도 관여했지만 공격을 계획한 것은 베이 빅티스였다.
It's true, ma'am. I heard the recording myself. My father figured out how to use terramorphs as weapons.
He did what?
That's impossible. He doesn't have the kind of access to...
Clearly, he made his own access, Chief Sarkin. Madam President, I have been saying for years that not dealing with that man was going to end in tragedy.
Enough! I hope everyone here understands that what has just been shared is a state secret of the highest order. This information does not leave this room. Now, that's quite the accusation you're leveling, considering Francois Sanon has not left containment for the better part of 2 decades. You have evidence to back this up?
비상 레코더 조각을 제작합니다.
It just transformed. A terramorph out of thin air. An invisible weapon. No planet would be safe.
Heavens help us. Is that actually him?
I'd know that voice anywhere. That's Francois.
He knew they could do this. And said nothing.
He's a sociopath. Plain and simple, ma'am.
Officer, please collect that recording.
Yes, ma'am. Begging your pardon, Captain.
We'll, of course, be launching a full investigation into how this could have happened. Though I have little doubt the Admiral will be quick to share all he knows on the subject once confronted with that recording. Chief Yassine, can you send one of your interrogators to have a little chat with the Admiral?
I'll issue the order immediately.
Good. Combined with everything else you all have uncovered. Well, I don't think the United Colonies can thank you enough. We failed the people of the colonies by not dealing with Vejvictus sooner. I intend to rectify that mistake immediately.
그 남자는 어떻게 될까?
That will be up to the cabinet to decide. But I don't appreciate our mercy being taken advantage of.
내각이 옳다고 생각한다면 내각이 원하는 대로 하면 된다.
It's well past due. Now, with our
대화를 해봐야겠죠?
You should head back upstairs. The Admiral's no longer in residence.
제독이 없다는데?
Well, I've got to say, this is a first. I've never had a Class 1 citizen in my ranks before. Congratulations, Captain.
감사합니다, 사령관님. 영광입니다.
No need to thank me. You brought this all on yourself. I've already gone ahead and processed your Class 1 benefits. All UC goods and services should now have a thanks for protecting the colonies discount. And the credits should be in your accounts now. But to get into your penthouse, you'll have to pay a visit to the Aphelion Realty office.
야,
They
펜트하우스.
should be able to grant you access.
무섭도록 아낌없이 주는구나.
Higher-ups wanted to make sure you know how much they appreciate what you've done. But with all that squared, it's time to get you a new assignment. There are your standard Vanguard missions, putting those pilot skills to use defending UC space. Or you could help the TMD in cleaning up terramorphs. Oh, and I got a request from Dr. Walker. Wanted your help collecting biological samples to keep an eye out for any, new alien threats on the horizon. Any of those missions call to you?
임무는 끝났다, 사령관님. 잠시 외계인은 잊어버려라.
Of course. You've earned some R&R. Once you're rested up and ready to head out there again, you come see me.
부동산은 어디지? 여기구나, 아펠리온.
Well, if it isn't the United Colony's newest Class 1 citizen, you've made quite a name for yourself in New Atlantis. In fact, the higher-ups want to thank you for your dedicated service by giving you one of the nicest pieces of real estate in the city. It's a premium penthouse at the top of Mercury Tower. Best location in New Atlantis, in my professional opinion.
What do you say? It'll just take a second to get you registered as the owner.
관심은 있다.
Great! You're in for a real treat. It's one of my favorite apartments in the city. Okay, you're all set. Your new home's located in Mercury Tower in the residential district. You'll love the place. It has a gorgeous floor plan and an unbeatable view of the city. Now that you're an owner, I'm sure I'll be seeing you around town.
여긴가 본데. 우와. 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 세탁기? 건조기는 없어? 우와.